It's blinking live for me.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, good. So you guys are live. We're all live on Facebook, I take it, huh? Let's
I
see.
love
I'm
it.
gonna go in and see if we can see if I can see us. And welcome
Yeah.
everybody. Um, I've got friends with me tonight, so if you're watching this, you can see that.
What's up, everyone?
Hello, everybody.
Let me see though. I don't see it on Facebook though, so I think I might have to hit live on there and go live. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. Are you guys, can you guys log in Facebook and see if it's on the group?
I don't know
I
if
can
it'll let
try.
me. I could try.
It kind of cut me out earlier when I plugged off.
Ah, okay.
I can try.
Oh,
I'm
we're on
seeing.
there.
Yeah, I'm
I
seeing a
see, yes.
countdown.
All right. Yeah, we're live. There's just some lag time.
Hey, Bill.
All right, Bill says it's live.
Hey,
There we
Bill.
go. Everybody's starting to come in. Thank you guys for letting us know. Instead of just hearing me talk all the time, I brought some great friends, and everybody here has a really unique story. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my story and what I do to maintain peak performance and to be able to, train the way that I do today after being bedridden at one time in my life with Lyme disease. And if you think that's a unique story, it's really not. And you're going to hear some great stuff tonight. So I'm going to introduce first Vincent Mills. So Vincent is part of our workshop, and so is Beverly. And I want to just let him take the floor right now and just share in a couple of minutes, Vincent, try to make the Cliff Notes version of what you've been through in a nutshell before we give all of your secrets away, and just tell people who you are.
Okay. So my name is Vincent, and I am a brain cancer survivor. I let's see. I mean, I've been through so much that it's just a wild story. A wild ride, and I don't know. I've totally transformed myself from I was athletic my whole life, and then I fell off and went through some rough patches in life, and then I got put on all these sorts of medications and stuff, and I blew up like a balloon and got really big, almost 200 pounds, and then totally transformed my life. Got introduced to meditation and introduced to the minerals, and totally totally did a quantum leap, and now I'm living the life of my dreams, and I'm becoming the person I've always wanted to be.
Thank you, Vince. And
Yeah,
we'll
man.
get more into that, guys. So Vince is got a really powerful when you actually hear the story and how deep it goes. And the transformation is remarkable. You just got off the elliptical, Vince, and you have a little party in your house. So I'll let you tell everybody about how
Yes,
that plays
sir.
out.
So yeah,
Yep.
I go on my elliptical, but I have the TV screen in front of me with a big sound system, and I go on YouTube and I play a lot of EDM music and cool videos with sports cars and stuff like that, and really get me all freaked out on the elliptical. And I in the mornings I do my ABC break process on it, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's really like a nightclub in here when I'm going for about a half an hour, and it's just amazing. It's really cool. It's a fun ride.
All right. I had to give my daughter a quick hug. She's come say hi to everybody.
Hi,
You want to say hi?
Leora.
Hey.
Hi.
She likes to. Okay, you go upstairs, sweetie. You can come back later. Okay. All right. So, all right. Now, Beverly also has a unique story. And Beverly, when it comes to manifesting, Beverly knows how to manifest things with ease. And we're trying to get secrets out of her. So if you guys are thinking about coming to the next workshop, Beverly's going to be presenting at the workshop, and we're going to dig every secret out of her to get to the bottom of how she is so good at manifesting all of her dreams. So Beverly, tell them a little bit about the health side of things.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me be on. I'm happy to be here, and I love always hearing Vincent's stories.
Thank you.
I too have had a journey like everybody. Pretty much have a story. All of us do, and mine's not as dramatic as Vincent. So I stand in admiration on Vincent. But mine is more has been a journey, and I kind of found out I was also, well, I guess I'll make mine short too, is I had been diagnosed with depression, agoraphobia. I connected with Matthew when he was talking about his stories of being rushed into the emergency room and the ambulances, thinking you're having a heart attack, and you're having panic attacks. Taking all that and I was on 3 medications, I had 4 surgeries in a row. So everything was like out of control, my weight, everything. And going to, I found a passion. My daughter got me started first and started dancing and moving my body. And that kind of correlated into also changing my mindset. It just set everything in motion. So I believe moving your body in motion is great for all of us. It connects your. I've learned now it's body, mind, spirit, and it all just comes together. And it starts by moving your body, changing your mindset. That's what I love about learning with Matthew all the time. I'm constantly growing in that area, and then it's just carried over. I got off all 3 medications. I no longer take them. I take all the minerals. I vortex my water. I do all my tools that I've been taught, the ABC process, the Ho'oponoponos, constantly manifesting. And I can share a little secret also what I do with my vortex water. But it's just totally changed my whole outlook and positive. I feel amazing. I feel positive. I lost 60 pounds. I got off the medication. My life is just totally turning around. And now I'm taking huge, big steps that I don't think I ever would have took before. It gave me all my confidence back. And I feel good about that. And I want to share that with everybody. So I feel grateful just to be here to even talk to all of you guys. So thank you for letting me share.
Awesome, Beverly. It's always
I couldn't agree
inspirational.
more.
Yeah. So I'm going to just get started a little bit. You guys probably have heard my story if you know me, but people are talking about the ABC break process. I want you to know that technique. Just go to allow.ws, and download the free book, Allow. And you can work that process. It's all about shifting your consciousness. So I'll quickly tell you my story, and then I'll give you my best health tips. And I think we'll just go around the room and we'll just give our best strategies so that you guys can take from this what makes sense for you and put it into application if it feels right. So with me, back in 2008, I started to get really sick. It started with panic attacks, agoraphobia, and I had PTSD, and also I started to get really weak and I lost a lot of body weight. And before you know it, a year and a half later, I was 55 pounds lighter, skin and bones, and I was bedridden. And then I finally get the diagnosis that I had Lyme disease. And by that time, the medical doctors told me that I probably should just get used to this because it's probably something I'm going to have to live with. Mm-hmm. And, it ended up going through bankruptcy and bottoming out and just going through the natural route and the holistic, the healers, you name it. I reached out to anybody and everybody, and I met some great people. And you know what? It was the worst time of my life, but it was also the pivotal time of my life, which you may find is a theme here for everybody, is that, typically when we go through things, I always say only the good is true. I never like to talk about all the hard times because really that was just boot camp. And so today, that's why I'm able to do what I do, is because I went through that hell and I came out the other side and made me strong, and I got back to perfect well-being and trained like a pro athlete. And when I say that, I mean, I really do. I train, an hour of weight training really heavy every day. And I can do, an hour of high intensity cardio with a 20 pound weight vest on with sprints. And, these things I couldn't even do when I played hockey when I was, in my teens and my early 20s. And I'm 41 years old today. So the point here is Jack LaLanne was breaking world records in his 80s. So everything is belief and it's all consciousness. And then we have to support the body to, bring that into fruition. We have to go congruent. And a lot of times you're going to run into a fear. And typically if you've been, down and out and you're really chronically compromised, I don't like to use medical labels. I'm just going to use alternative ways of talking about this. But you know who I'm talking about. If you're not feeling well and it's been a long time, you've got probably a lot of fear and your sense of your world is coming down closer and closer and closer on you because all of these beliefs about limitation are creeping into your consciousness. And the work of Raymond Francis in his book, Never Be Sick Again, was the pivotal turning point in my journey because he broke all sickness down into two pathways, deficiencies and toxicities. And when he did that for me, it took the mystery out of things. And then I discovered Dr. Hamer's work with German New Medicine and how the psyche conflicts translate in the body expression, our weakest link, sort of that's where we break down. And once I put the puzzle together, I was able to go through all sorts of trial and error, and I narrowed it down to the most critical element. I looked at the, deficiency and toxicity aspect that Raymond discovered, and this guy said all the literature is published out there. You guys can go out and dig this up yourself. The research is there. But since the 80s, the soil has been deficient. Now, if the soil is deficient, we want to know what it's deficient in. It's deficient in minerals. And minerals are the currency of life, according to Dr. Joel Wallach. So if we don't have minerals, then vitamins don't absorb. And if vitamins don't absorb, then hormones become compromised. And then all of a sudden, consciousness is also compromised because hormones contain consciousness. Mm-hmm. So once I discovered that, I said, okay, let's go back to the beginning and let's start talking about minerals. And I started to do some really esoteric research into monatomic elements and what they call ormus. And I realized that all that meant was it's a single, like these minerals are usually in groups. And then when they become monatomic, mono means one. It means it becomes a single, aspect. So silver, iridium, ruthenium, and gold particularly is the ones that I like to use. And you can actually create these yourself. The best way to do it is the way nature intended to do it. So I don't recommend going out and buying, your monatomic gold on the internet. A lot of that stuff is unstable. So what I discovered is how to mineralize my body and how to get that going with the mind-body connection. And then all of the other stuff that I was doing started to really kick in and work for me. And that's the big breakthrough I had. It took me 6 years to rebuild my body, 6 years from where I had, from the bottom that I fell out at. But I promise you this, I knew I was going to die. If I didn't find the solution, I knew it was over. And when I started to make a few simple changes, I wrote about it all in my book, Allow. You can read the whole thing. Everything I did with my consciousness, I put right there for you because I want you guys to have this. I want you guys to prosper. And I'll tell you this, if you don't have health, your prosperity is compromised because wealth will not be complete without health. And health is your most primary form of wealth. So I'll tell you at the end, when everybody's done with their story, about the minerals and about the kits that I use. But first, I just want to go around the room and I want to tell you my top 3 things that I'd like to tell you guys is, first of all, the spiritual consciousness. The work of Dr. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, he was one of the first that I began studying, and he talked about how, man created disease. He said man invented disease. Then he talked about how it's all consciousness and it's all rooted in beliefs, lies, and opinions. And as we correct the mind, we can correct the so-called body because there is no physical body. He believed everything was spirit because God said we are created in the image and likeness of God. And in John 4, verse 24, it says God is a spirit. God is never a material being. And so that really allowed me to shift from thinking I was a meat sack to thinking that I'm a spiritual, eternal being. And when we change the way we look at the body correspondingly tends to agree with the way we think. And so then I started to mineralize the body. I started to put the stuff in. And see, minerals can indirectly influence consciousness because the hormones contain consciousness. So I started to do that. and then support the body. And the last thing I had to do was just every day, daily habits determine your destiny. I had to show up every day and do what I could. In the beginning, it was just to get up and walk halfway around the block. And it used to hurt bad. And I used to have to go lay down for 2 hours afterward. That's how weak I was. I had to do that for months. Okay. For months and months, I had to do that. And then it became, I can do 20 push-ups again. And then I did that. And then it became, I tried to run around. I tried to run a mile and I tried to overdo it. And then I ended up in the ER. And so I was always trying to push the envelope. And I'd always have to face that mortality kicking in. But once I went 3 for 3 and I understood that I'm an eternal spiritual being, that mortality is unreal, and I started to deal with that fear, and then I started to conquer that fear while supporting the body, while engaging in the daily habits, I eventually broke through, and that's when it all kicked in. And so that's what I want to give you guys, and everything that I've done, you can all receive through my books, and I put them all online for free, and the websites are there. So now let's talk about Vince. And Vince, I want you to go a little deeper into the story now and sort of surmise, some summary of what you said in the workshop, because it was so profound. I really want you to share some of these techniques with people.
Okay, so like, what kind of techniques? Like as far as my workout, or?
Well, let's talk about when you started. You gave the brief idea. You had the brain cancer and you went through a lot. But let's just really lay it out, because here's the thing. People come to me all day, every day, and a lot of people tell me, they have a lot of excuses why they're not, getting ahead and manifesting in life and really stepping up to the plate. And I just want to put things in perspective, okay? I just want you to really lay it out as to how bad it was for you, because right now you're the picture of health. When you see this guy live at the workshop, this guy has got a freaking 8-pack, and this guy so he's on point, you guys. And where he came from was so far down that it really should inspire you to know that if he can do it, you can do it. So that's what I kind of want you to lay out, Vince. I really want you to share that with people.
Okay. So, all right. So I had the brain cancer, and I had 2 12-hour surgeries, and they were back to back, but they were a week apart because my head and my face swelled so bad to the point where they couldn't do the second surgery right away. And so I had to be bedridden for around a month in the hospital. And when that happens and you can't use your legs, you also have to learn how to walk again after that. And so I was 20 years old, uh, walking around the hospital with a walker, and my mom pushing me, who is my rock. And if she wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened. But she was there pushing me the whole time, forcing me to do the work and to get up and walk with that walker. And it was just unbelievable at 20 years old having to go through something like that, and and just being blindsided by it. So I learned how to walk again, and in order to get released from the hospital, I had to do that. So I could have stayed there longer, but I forced myself to get through it, and I did it. And I got home. I went into the hospital around 150 pounds, and I came out around 110, between 110 and 119, because I was just on liquids there. There was no food. I couldn't swallow because when they did the surgery, they paralyzed my vocal cord, and they were scared that liquids were going to get into my lungs. So I had to get a feeding tube. So I had, I think, around 3 to 6 months of a feeding tube as well after. And I also had radiation. That was 8 weeks of radiation, which was excruciating. It was unbelievable. Um, so after that, being already very depleted from radiation and all that, I just felt, not right away, but probably about around a year after, maybe 2, I fell into a deep depression and started getting really angry, and the whole why me, and then it became the victim role, and it was very bad. Um, I tried everything to escape reality, and so I got hooked on self medicating, and my big thing was alcohol, and I would drink so much that I would black out every night because I didn't want to face anything at all whatsoever. So then with that, they they saw I was getting depressed, and then I had to get all these tests, and got diagnosed with depression and PTSD and anxiety, a sleep disorder. There was one part for a while after I was doing really bad that I didn't leave my house for around a year or two. The only time I left was to go to therapy, and then I would come right back home. And then, geez, so it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then fighting, in and out of jail, always getting in trouble, and no, nothing would work, no medication, all of that, in my opinion, is just BS. I'm not putting down anybody who has to use them, but for me, it just didn't work. It did the absolute opposite. I became more suicidal and more angry and more depressed than ever while on that. And life didn't start changing until I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And one night fell in the cell in jail, fell on my knees and prayed to God, and told him, it was a little bit of a foxhole prayer, and told him that I was ready to change, and that I was going to step up and do everything that it took. And I can honestly say that I did that, and I did not lie on that one right there. So I'm very proud of that, and still have a lot of shame and guilt from everything, but I'm working through that every day. And I have Safe Touch now, ABC Break. I even did my sets right before this because I was so nervous. So that bumped me up, and that got me through it, and it is what it is. And so I decided to go the healthy route with everything holistic, and a big thing, like my three things is, one is meditation, two is minerals, and three is exercise. Those are the three things that I have to stick with in order to be at the best of my game. And so I went that healthy route, and I wasn't shy of athletics and stuff like that. So I started getting back into working out. I started very, very small, like Matthew, doing a couple push-ups. Like once you learn in therapy is you don't want to do too much at once, because then you're going to get down on yourself if you don't reach those goals. So I did little by little. And I just kept with it, and it was extremely hard, but um with meditation and stuff, you really get a shift, especially with Sadhguru, man. I love that guy. He is absolutely amazing. And so once I started doing that, then I came on to Matthew's videos, and he was talking, the big thing, one of the biggest videos that really caught my attention was anger equals poverty, because I was so angry, and I knew that it was bothering me. I knew it was ruining my life, but I didn't know how to control it. And again, with meditation and things like that, and staying all natural with everything, um, that helped calm me down, as well as a big thing is cannabis oil, medical cannabis oil. Um, I'll say to anybody, the only thing wrong with medical cannabis is the abuse of medical cannabis. And when you start to use it as medicine, I I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna guarantee, but I can tell you there's miracles that come along with it. Um, so then another big thing that I did, I started getting out into nature, and I started walking, and I started connecting again with nature, and I totally listen to what they say in therapy, and everything like that, and got rid of all negative influences in my life. I completely um, deleted everything: Instagram, Facebook. I got a new phone number. I got a new phone. I deleted all my contacts, and I told myself, if that number was important, it will come back into my life. And the important ones did come back, and the ones that weren't important never came back. So that was a very big thing to get rid of. And that was very hard to get, as lonely and vulnerable as I did at a time like that, especially just getting sober and being so dependent on alcohol that I had beer to wake up to in the morning. Like it was extremely, extremely bad. Um, so then going through all that and being sober, it wasn't easy, but I pushed through it every time. And I tell everyone that even if I took one step back, I always made sure I took two steps forward. I never took any more than one step back. You know, if I had to dial it down a little and fall back into old habits or whatever. Um, not totally negative habits, but thought patterns and stuff like that. No alcohol or any drugs or anything like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I then after working out and everything, and like I said, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, but like I said, I saw that anger equals poverty, and then I just started really watching all of his videos and all of Matthew's videos, and I came across him saying how it wasn't until he started investing in himself that it started changing, and I that really clicked with me because I never the only things that I invested in myself were bad things like drugs and alcohol and stuff that were not good for me. So to finally invest in myself in health products and stuff that was going to benefit me was new, but it was a game changer completely. And once I started doing that, and I don't come from money and I don't have a lot of money, but I still spend on health products and it's what saves me and what just it brings me to the plate every time. And now I like I said, I did a quantum leap. Like not even just a shift over, like a fucking leap to where I want to be now and who I want to step up to the plate as. And it's just really it's been life changing, and I've now made it my mission to help any and all people who were even close to my position, because it was so bad. And I shared this at the workshop. It was so bad that I was angry for waking up in the morning. And if I can go from that to being absolutely thrilled, saying thank you, thank you, thank you, I love you, I love you, I love you every time I wake up in the morning, it just shows me that anybody can do it. I'm not anything special. I'm just somebody who stays dedicated and works his fucking ass off. And I promise you, if you do that, you can have the same dream life that you've always wanted as well. So that's the gist of it. I mean, if there's anything else you want me to talk about,
No, it's fantastic, Vince. That's the gist of it. And you're new to this. We've only been working together for a short time, and you came to the first workshop and you presented at the next one, and you started your tithing and you started your prosperity. So the same diligence that you used with your health, you'll use in your prosperity in your business, and it won't be many moons. That's the same journey I went to. I went through that same journey. Became a millionaire in a few years by doing that. Just that daily habit, diligence, using the tools, using the techniques, and pushing through every resistance that shows up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and just that I just want to say, like, tithing, yes, that's absolutely important as well. Matthew, the one thing though that's really been awesome is that safe touch, man. That really, I'm telling you, it's melting away that shame and that guilt. And it, like I said before, it's still there a little bit, but compared to what it used to be, and compared to the feeling that I feel when I'm done with that, it is absolutely amazing. So that, and I mean, the ABC break has also been a game changer. All those three techniques, if you do them every day, and I'll post all the transformation pictures and stuff from each workshop and from doing each of the steps and everything like that. It does the work. It does it absolutely, and I will stick by that forever because they are absolutely amazing techniques.
Yep. And God gave me all those techniques, and when I say God gave them to me, I don't want you guys to think I'm making that up. I mean, legitimately, when you live in the present of the present, and when you're able to go in the flow without the constant thinky that everybody does. They all sit there creating resistance all day long. Think. When you stop doing that, your life becomes magic, and then you're in the present, and then that still voice within is plain as day. And I was mesmerized, and I got the pen out, and I started writing. And that process came out in here. This is the book it's in. It's in Ask Until It's Given. And I want to give you guys a free gift for stopping to this broadcast. Just go to askuntilitisgiven.com, and you can get a free download of the digital copy of this book right here. This book has got the Safe Touch method in it. So if you want to learn that, that is how you release guilt and shame within under a minute. And it's a
learn that shit. Learn it now. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful. So yeah. Beverly, you talked about coming off, some pharma stuff, and I'm sure it was pretty hard in the beginning, but you also lost 60 pounds. Yes. And your attitude is so optimistic. Attitude is everything. So how did you do this?
Well, I like some of the stuff you guys have been saying. One things that are that I connect with too is, yes, fight back, fight for your life, push back. No matter how hard it is, no matter what you've got to do, you are worth it, and you just push back against the resistance, push back against doubt, fear, anything that you're feeling. These are all just feelings. And I think that's what I've learned a lot, especially from my first workshop, is to stand, fight, win, and just keep pushing forward and get, like you said, get out of the thinky. And I'm grateful for all my tools that I have. And at first, what I want to tell everybody is to be honest with them. I didn't know when to use which tool, so I used all of them. So I would just go 1, 2, 3 and use all of them. And next thing I know, I'm just walking in victory and feeling confident. And that's where I came from, is like, at first I felt like I started moving my body, which I feel like is your subconscious mind. And then that triggered everything else. And I've always believed in God and had faith. And I just know He's always there watching over me, carrying me. There's magic in every step that I take. I just walk through it. I don't question it no more. I just, everything that Matthew says, I allow, and it's a growing process. It's not easy, but I think it's harder to stay stuck. And I felt like all those years that I'm going to say, I was on those drugs for 20 years, Matthew, and I quit cold turkey, and I didn't have no withdrawals, nothing. And to me, that spoke volumes. That it changed my mind shift. I try to stay in the positive. I'm human. I'm just like everybody else. But now I've been given tools. I use nutrition. I use exercise. I use movement. I set, before I came to your first conference, I set 10 hours a day, just feeding my mind full of positive, your tapes. I also listen to tones. And now I have more tools. Every time I come back to a workshop, I come back with more tools. And I just keep seeing all these wonderful miracles happening in my life. And if any way I can share that with people, that's becoming my passion now, to help other people and help them. If I can do it, if Vince can do it, we can do it. And my story isn't as dramatic as his, but I just know that I'm taking the minerals. One thing Vincent said too was investing in yourself. I never did that before either. And I'm doing that now by taking the minerals. I do the meditations with Vince every morning and evening. When I'm at work, I put my earphones in. I try to listen to Matthew, whatever tape I have at that time. And if I can't, then I put back in my tones, because then I don't have to concentrate. But I constantly have something being fed into my positive, into my subconscious mind. So I feel like the three things that you could take from me would be movement. Move your body. Feed your subconscious mind positive stuff. And I also heard Vincent say he let go of a lot of stuff, and that has been one of my lessons, is letting go of what no longer serves us, and allowing the new to come in. And I guess the main thing I want to say is push past fear, push past doubt, persevere. You're strong and you can do this. And the results just start showing up. You change your body, you change your mind. If we can we're creating a reality like Matthew teaches us. Then be a good creator of your life. Stand strong. And anyway, I guess, do you have any other questions? I can tell you with Vortex in my water, every morning I put all my minerals in there and I make my greens drink, but I Vortex my water, but I speak all my affirmations into my water. Nice. and drink that every morning. And I also another thing that Matthew gave me was his Lord's Prayer. I say that into my water. So I just keep wanting to grow. So I'm coming back even for a third time for the workshops, because you're meeting beautiful, like-minded people. You're being encouraged. You're growing, and you get all these amazing tools. You learn about nutrition. You learn about your mind. You get the tools, and in other words, you walk out of there prepared, and then you just want to keep coming back for more. So I hope that helps everybody. If you do have more questions, I'd love to answer them. I don't talk much more about the depression and agoraphobia anymore because I don't have it anymore. So
yeah.
If you guys know what that is, see, when I was agoraphobic, what it is, if you don't know what it is, literally you can be scared to leave your couch.
Yes.
It's absolutely terrifying. And when she spoke at the last event, to be able to get up in front of people and speak in public, which is the number one fear next to death, to go from agoraphobic to that, and to manifest, living in this big, beautiful home that you've been able to live at, and to be able to
travel
and gotten involved in companies that have, all of a sudden she gets in at the top because she just happens to show up at the right place at the right time, and it's magic.
It's beautiful.
Yep. And so it really is. And
even to be talking right now, I would have been scared. I would have been shaking. And I think my heart just cares so much to want to help other people that, like I said, push past fear. And my favorite thing is the hat you gave me, doubt.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I've just come out a whole new person, and I don't know, I'm liking it. I love Vince. I love Vince's new everything.
I love you too.
Every time we come together, we're just growing so much more, and it's so good. It's fun to watch people grow in all this. It's
absolutely
an amazing experience.
Yeah, the whole second family aspect of it too has just been absolutely amazing. That in itself has brought my confidence up, and to be able to be celebrated every day is something I think everybody deserves. And it's after the first workshop, it hasn't stopped for me. I get celebrated every day from you guys, and you're all amazing, and it's been remarkable, and it's just been such a life changer, such a game changer, and life changing. It's just been great. It's been really great.
Yeah, you guys were answer to my prayer, and my prayer was, I had achieved a lot, and I was so happy about it, and I wanted to give the tools, and I wanted to really train. But then what I got out of it is I got that spiritual family that I've always wanted, and people that I love. And every time I go to the workshop, I keep thinking, this is a team. This is a team, and we have a strategy, and together we grow together. We're always going to the next level together. Whatever we're doing, we're going to the next level together.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and so let's talk about well, I guess let's talk about the minerals. I guess if you guys can see this, I'm vortexing them right now. You'll see. Can you see the tornado going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is a vortexer. I put a link in the description, and it's been going now for about 40 minutes. I started it when we started, and what that's doing is that's creating a magnetic field. And what I've done is I put the minerals right in there, the Electrolyte Pro and the magnesium, because they are the ionic angstrom-sized minerals, and they have the fulvic acid. You need that volcanic ash, and once that separates, it creates ormus, and ormus is superconductors for the chakras, the nodes in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that galactic energy that flows into the top of your crown, and we manifest with that, it comes out the chakras and projects the hologram, the matrix that you perceive as your external reality. And like I said, the benefits of minerals are endless, but minerals, as Dr. Joel Wallach says, they are the currency of life. Now think about it. Everybody wants more currency. They want more flow, more cash, more flow, more money. Money is my own natural energy yield. Well, if you don't have adequate mineral supplies, it's like your lamp is burning dim. And if you're not supplementing them, where are you getting them from? Now, honestly, I don't care if you buy my minerals. I want you to use this stuff. My minerals are created because I know what to do, and I love taking my products and I developed them for me so I could be at my best. But if you can read this book right here that you get a free copy of, you can read all about it. This is how you do it. You can just go right on Amazon, get this magnetic stir, and get your minerals with volcanic ash, and you need something that will separate into ormus, and you spin it for 20 minutes. And after that, you just drink it. So since it's been going, well, you can do what Beverly said. If you have greens that you take, and you take like a powder of some kind, here, I'll do it with amino acids right here because I worked out twice today. I did legs and I did some sprints. So I'll take some aminos before I go to bed. And what you do is you can supercharge them by putting them in the vortex water and mixing them with the minerals and just let that go for a while. And then what you'll notice is the taste will be different. When I put my greens in there, it doesn't even taste the same. It's fluffier. Do you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I even put the magic formula. I empty it out into there.
Oh, you do that? You
Yeah.
just put it right in
Oh,
there?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think
man.
of that.
That's been working very well. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Another
Oh,
thing that's been
Great.
cool that I've noticed has been really, really helping me is if you can fall asleep, like Beverly was talking about the tones, if you can fall asleep to that stuff. I've been
Yes.
I know a good
Yes.
channel is Meditative Mind on YouTube, and they have 9 hour things. So you let it go all night, and you can play, and they're the miracle tones, and that's I've been waking up feeling very refreshed and good in the morning. So
Do any of you guys do the Shreem Breezy and the Arakara and
Sabrina does it every day.
I love
Sabrina does
those.
that
So
every
I do
day.
those too.
Yep.
So I was gonna say a few words that I say in there. I say health, wealth, Arakara, Shreem Breezy. I say love, longevity, vitality. Any words that you can that's your affirmations. Put them in there.
I'll do one
Speak it.
Randingling Mama. I'll do the one
Oh, I do.
Randingling
That's the first one I do.
Mama.
That's the first one I do. And I say
Yeah.
it 3 times.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what that is, just get a reverse speech app on your phone and say one Randingling Mama on there.
Yeah, that's my first one.
You know what I did with mine also is I wrote, like, I also speak. I do the thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you into the vortex. But I also wrote on with clear tape. I wrote, like, one of them is I am I am beautiful. The other one is I am amazing. One's I am a multimillionaire, and then I plastered it right onto the thing. But I did it so I wrote on the sticky part so the water can read it. So it's
Nice.
like it's backwards to me, but so the water can read it. So
Oh, I like that.
Cool.
something cool like that.
That's
That's
cool.
really cool. Yeah, well, this transmission was supposed to be called "Love Your Body." So let's talk about. I'll tell you what my interpretation of being in shape is. Okay, the whole fitness industry or the whole diet and weight loss industry is how you should hate your body if you really think about it, because they fat shame everybody. They always want to make you feel like if you're overweight that's a bad thing, and in reality, you can't get there from there. You have to love your body first. But what I mean by loving it is listen to what Vince said when he decided to get well. He said, "I'm gonna like go holistic. I'm gonna support myself." And now look at what happened to him. You see, if you go in that direction, like I'm going to love and nurture myself, then you can get to the goal in a way that's sustainable and you can have joy at the end. But if you go at it from a way of, well, I hate this body, I'm going to starve it, you may lose the weight, but it's going to backfire and it's going to always end up in tears. So you got to be
Absolutely.
cognizant of how you go into this. You
Yeah,
know that.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Um,
So, what did you say when you started your process, Vince? Because you were overweight at that time. I mean, you were overweight at one time.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I was up to my biggest was 194, and I'm only 5'5". So I'm
Yep.
down on one of the pictures that I have. It got down to 126.6. That's what I'm around like that. In between, I fluctuate between that and 130, 132, and I go back and forth between that. But one thing I didn't talk about was intermittent fasting.
Mm.
Yes. Tell them about it.
That has
Yeah.
also been a game changer for me. Um, and the biggest thing is not not like giving your body time to digest. That I think that is really really key because people don't
Mhm.
realize that, and everybody just eats and eats and eats and doesn't. You know, I think it's harder and it creates. You know, you lose all your energy because your body's trying to fight to eat all that food up, and it's just and digest it, and it's just not good. So I started, and the one thing that allows me to do intermittent fasting, and I credit this 100% is the minerals, because then I have
Yeah.
my nutrients during the day, and I don't have to eat. I tell everybody this: if I get hungry, I'll eat, but normally I only have one meal a day, or I'll do 2 meals a day, but I never ever do three anymore, and it's mostly really one, and but the minerals is what helps me, and I don't feel weak. I don't nothing. I have the most energy of my life.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. I want to tell you
And
guys that if you guys, I just challenge you. I mean, legitimately, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in my recovery from training, that stuff that I teach at the workshop from coaches and healers and mentors. And, I used to own a nutrition franchise store. So I've seen all the supplements under the sun. But we don't have to talk about fads and gimmicks. We want to talk about cellular biology and
yeah.
minerals are they're deficient in the soil. Let's just put it that way. So if you don't get them, where are you getting them from? And if you don't have it, look at Raymond Francis's book, Never Be Sick Again, Deficiency and Toxicity. So if you're deficient, your cells don't function properly and you can feel it. And people that I put on these kits, within a few days, they're like, holy man, my body is functioning again.
You have
You know?
energy, you feel good, you think better, and
Yep.
yeah, and I also believe in high vibrational foods too.
mm,
Like I do a lot of the moringa, the kale, all the I do a lot of juicing too now, but I do the intermittent fasting too, and I believe the minerals. And I love my other one is mocaine, so
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
so I have to have that every morning.
Well,
But
I put intermittent fastings in here too, guys.
mhm.
Like if you get this free book, I talk about intermittent fasting. But Vince is almost on the OMAD diet, which is almost like one meal a day.
Yep.
Um, and scientific studies are out there proving how valuable that is. But the main thing, Vince, is you said you still have energy when you do it. I think everybody's afraid if they do it, they're going to not have any energy.
Yeah, I had more energy, or I have more energy now from it. And I thought that too. I for a long time I was scared to do it, and then I saw what's his name, Thomas DeLauer,
Yep.
and that dude, I really like how he says how he's like a science nerd, so he really breaks it down on why everything is the way it is when you're intermittent fasting, and then also
Mhm.
a big thing that none of us mentioned too is apple cider vinegar. I wake up
Mm.
every
Mhm.
morning and I do a tea or a tablespoon of that with 8 ounces of
Yep,
water every
I do
morning without
that.
fail.
And
Um,
lemons.
yeah, yeah, that's also very good too. But yeah, once I started watching him and doing that, and and then I started intermittent fasting, and it was a little bit of a problem at first because I was getting very weak and everything. But then once I found the minerals, it was a game changer. And after that, I literally have never had this much energy in my life, and that's 100% right there.
Even if I skip a day, I notice it right away. I went a whole week without them. I was missing them very much so. As soon
Yeah.
as I got right back on them, there is my energy again.
It's the greatest discovery
Mm-hmm.
I've ever found for the human meat sack body. And if I go, I've done it a few times where I've taken a day or two or off, and within 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
I can't train my 2 a days anymore. Like all of a sudden,
Mm.
I train one heavy weight training session, and my body's like, oh, I'm so tired. And I get back on the minerals, I can do my 2 a days again. And the best thing is I can consistently do them. And it makes life so much more fun because I can move, I can express myself the way that I want to, and I don't feel old. I
Yeah.
feel young.
Absolutely. And I also I give the minerals to my mom every morning. I vortex the water for me and her, and she's in her 50s, and she just not just, but I got her working out and everything again, and feeling great. And she just went for a run the other day, and it's been a long time since she's done that. And she told me that it's the first time ever that she's stopped working out for a little bit of time and then started again, ran and wasn't sore. And I said to her, well, what do you think is why do you think that is? And she was like 100% because of the minerals that you've been giving me. She has never had that to where she's not sore. And because of that, now she went out running a couple miles and was not sore at all. And it's just great. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is, and I still feel it's amazing, just because it's almost you talked about the CBD. CBD is miraculous too, and when
Mm,
you find things like that change your life, you have to tell everybody about it because
Mhm.
it's a game changer on all levels.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, that's really what I wanted to cover. Oh, Beverly, before we go, I want to just talk about how you did the weight loss. I want to know your process. Tell us how you did that.
Um, I have to say I started with movement, um, dancing, um, and for my age, that's pretty good. I can keep up with the younger. I can go 2 or 3 hours, and it started with the minerals. I started dancing. Um, then it changed my mindset. It gave me confidence, and then I went from also feeding your mind to just craving. I don't crave sweets or anything anymore. It's really weird. I crave. Um, I can eat salad by the handful. Just I don't even need dressing. Um, and I did it. I say I intermittent fasting. I never said that, but that's pretty much what I do. I stop eating at 8, and I usually don't eat again till noon. And then my first meal is a greens, all kinds of high vibrational spirulina, um, anything beautifully vibrationally I can put down me, lemons, the apple cider vinegar. I do a lot of turmeric. I just crave it now too. I just down it. Um, I think my body just changing, my mind's changing, everything just feels good, and I think it all started with movement, and it just progressed to wanting to. You just get a good start feeling better about yourself, and um, that you can do it, and then you. I'm pretty sure it's the minerals, the food, and movement is how I've done it. And I only eat 2 meals a day. And if I do something else, I do a shake, a protein shake real quick
That's great. So
with
you
just
are
water.
intermittent fasting. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you end at 8, and yeah, see, that's an 8-hour window. So from noon to 8 is intermittent fasting, and you're
Yes.
doing it in 2 meals. So that's really cool.
That's pretty much all I do. And then a lot of movement. And I feel so good that I want to move. I want to dance. I'm doing dancing, yoga, and the gym now. So, and it feels
That's
good.
awesome.
But I just got back in my dancing. But when I'm usually going, I'm three days a week, 2 hours, and it's not just dancing. It's hardcore dancing. So it feels good. It feels good to move your body and to eat right and to feed your mind positive stuff. It feels good.
Awesome. Well, I love you guys, and this is like, you guys are family, and I just want to encourage everybody out there. I really want to speak to somebody's listening to me right now, and they're thinking, I want to change my life. It's not happening. I'm not excited about what's going on in my life, and I feel alone. I feel isolated. I want a family. I want to feel supported. I want to feel loved. I want to be encouraged, and I want to know what to do. I want to feel like I can push through when my resistance comes and people are negative, and that's what's been holding me down for years and years. And what I say to you guys is, I want you to consider coming to meet Vince and to meet Beverly and to come to the workshop. Vince and Beverly, they don't even know it yet, but they're going to be trainers at the next workshop. And well, they do know kind of, but these guys are getting really good at this stuff. And you can see the power is coming, the presence in all of this stuff, because they were always that to begin with. That's the whole point. If you're listening, you are the deity, you are the power. You just have to get, like the epigenetics talks about, or in Dr. Elise Rankin's book, when she talked about the people that healed were in a loving, supportive environment. Then they started to expect to heal, and they started to, expect to win. We're talking about, if you guys want to get ahead, you need to have teams. Teams
Yeah.
make things possible in life, and individuals, this whole solopreneur idea, what a misnomer. You cannot be a solopreneur because you can't do it all. You're not an accountant plus a marketing expert plus a salesperson plus a product developer plus a manufacturer. I mean, come on now. It's ridiculous. You've got to have a team, and teamwork is so critical for everything you want to do. A lot of people out there want to be digital entrepreneurs. They want to be a nomad. They want to travel, make money on the internet. Well, you know what? You're going to have a team, and you're going to have to believe. Most importantly, you're going to have to believe that you're worthy. First of all, most people don't. They're shamed, guilted, and have a history of believing they failed, and so they're too scared to even start. And that's where the tools come in. You come in and you learn how to amp up and step up to the game. And as you keep doing that, you know what happens? You build a morphogenic field. A morphogenic field is a collective body of knowledge that builds its own belief structure. And once that morphogenic field becomes a part of you and takes a hold of you, it pulls you forward through all the resistance, and you make quantum leaps. Like Vince said, he's just made some small ones yet. He hasn't even seen the big ones yet. But when you make the next quantum leap, the next one, you see, that's what happened to me. My first quantum leap was, I can get off the couch. I can do this. And I took a $7 an hour job. And then my next quantum leap was, I could take over the business. I could do this. And then I took over the business. My next quantum leap was, I can make money online, 6-figure income within 60 days. I could be a millionaire. 2.5 years later, millionaire. You see, quantum leaps happen, but I didn't do it by myself. I had a team, and all of the things that I did, I impart. So, in closing, is there anything you guys want to share for anybody that wants to come meet you guys at the workshop, or anything that you think is the best part about the whole entire experience of the workshop?
Like I said before, the whole entire, like the biggest part is you have a family after that, and you get to be celebrated every day, and you get to celebrate others, and by helping other people, you're also helping yourself at the same time, and it's The one thing I was thinking about, well, while you guys were talking, is the one thing that they teach you right away in rehabs or therapy and stuff like that, if you're trying to get clean, is people, places, and things. People, places, and things. Once you have that together and you weed out all the negativity in your life, and you can literally start from scratch if that's what you got to do, and then you find these people like I did at this workshop, these amazing, beautiful people that are a second family now. That is what really pushes me and what really gives me the fuel to step up to the plate every day and do what I got to do.
Love it.
So
I want to say, first of all, thank you, Matthew, for if I hadn't come across you, I'm just so grateful for everything I've
absolutely.
learned at this, not through your books, through your videos, through your heart, how you do give to everybody. And to me, that's inspiration. I also want to give in return. I want to pour out to people and help in any way that I can. I'm just like Vincent. You become very close in family. You become united. I feel like minds come together. You say minds mingle.
Mm,
This is the best place to come get your mind mingled with.
absolutely.
You know, it's you walk away. Um, you get to learn a little bit from each person, and that's what I like about what Matthew's saying. It is a team thing, and we can learn from each other and grow. And when you have this environment that encourages you to grow and also helps keep your mind positive, because like we are human and we are here learning, but this is the greatest place to come do that, to be yourself, and to get that poured back into you, and then you can pour out into your world and to others. To me, that I everybody that I've met so far, and then this family just keeps growing.
Mm,
I'm calling it magic. I'm enjoying every single moment, and I if any way that I can help, for it. So that's why I'm coming back. I'm coming back to grow some more. I'm coming back to meet more beautiful, like-minded people, and I just want to keep going. I don't want to stop. This has been a beautiful journey, and that's what I'm grateful for, is that you guys came into my life. And if I created this, I'm a good creator.
Yeah, you are.
I want to say, I'm just very happy and excited about it, and I'm just I hope you can see how grateful I am for everything that's happened to me this whole journey, and I love you guys so much. Seriously, love you guys.
absolutely. Me as
So,
Yeah.
well. Me
and I'm
too.
thankful. I'm just grateful to be part of it.
And just really quick, everybody, if you have a problem with this, stop listening to your mind.
Yes.
Stop
Mhm.
right now. Throw all that out of the window, because once I started doing that, that has been another game changer, because I've talked myself out of everything I've ever wanted in my life, and that no
Yeah.
longer happens. And it's all because your ego tries to keep you stuck in this trap of comfort, and you just got to say, fuck you, I'm not listening to you,
It all
and
starts making sense.
just take it.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, and just don't listen to that. Always listen to your heart. Don't listen to your mind. Always listen to your heart, and you will be 100% all the time.
Yep. Yep. And I know financial freedom is in store when you take this and you really diligently apply it every day, because God is no respecter of persons. You can read that in the scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And when your heart, like Vin says, your heart is for wisdom. You see, wisdom is the greatest magnet to riches. And what we apply is wisdom. And wisdom is what you're after. If you think you're after a fortune, you're not. You're after wisdom, because wisdom will get you the fortune. It takes what earthly men call time. It takes time and momentum. Anybody that tells you that you can come to one workshop and be a millionaire the next week is an idiot. Okay, because that just is, it's like playing the lottery ticket. And if you believe that, then you don't want to come to my workshop, because I'm going to train you, and you're not going to scratch a lottery ticket, because I don't believe in that mentality. I believe in changing your daily habits, because your daily habits become your destiny. And when you do that, that's what I did to get off the bed. And it didn't happen overnight, but within 3 years, I was a millionaire. 3 years, okay? And I didn't do it just once. In the last 8 years, I did it like 4 times, okay? That doesn't mean anything, because financial freedom is really health freedom, relationship freedom, financial freedom. It's all one thing. It's freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're after. You're after
That's my
freedom.
favorite word.
Yep.
Absolutely.
This is freedom. It's how to get free from this thing right here, this
Yeah.
lying and deceitful, who, what, when, where, why, and how, breaking you apart, tearing you down through the 5 senses, telling you that you are little man, because you're not. You've never had that as your real life. You've always been in the image and likeness of God, and it's my job and my destiny to prove that to you, so you'll believe it. And once you believe it, then all of a sudden you are there, because you shut this thing down, like Vince said. And the more you shut this thing down, the better and better life gets, because you don't need it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, this is so great. I want you guys to come in, and we're going to bring you back on more often. And if you guys like Vince, Adam is a friend on Facebook. You like Beverly, add her as a friend. Get connected, and then we'll all get connected in person. And we'll, you guys will be impressed when you guys get to meet these guys in person, because the energy is there, the love is there, the support is there, and you don't have to be alone. Everybody out there in digital cyberspace is all disconnected. Everybody's got a fake pseudo life, and that's okay, because we live in that body. But you can't ignore. That's what this is all. Love your body. All right.
Absolutely.
You can't leave your body all the time in the digital world, because this thing will become anemic and it will fall apart. And that's what you see around you, is we're all getting disconnected. We need to connect. We need to connect.
Absolutely.
And that brings joy. You see what they discovered? The secret that they really discovered is they have joy in their life again. And joy is the goal of all goals. Everything you're looking for is actually joy. And so you already have the goal. Now it's just a matter of the fact before the fruits of that start to come into your life.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you, guys. I'm going to let everybody get off here.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah. All right. Everybody, we're signing out. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
All right, guys.
Bye.